It's easy to believe that once you've undergone heart surgery, the hardest part is behind you. The truth, however, is more sobering. The moment you leave the hospital isn't the end. It's the beginning of a delicate, high-stakes battle for your health. Every bite you take, every meal you choose becomes either a step toward recovery or a detour back into danger. And the danger is real. The number one cause of hospital readmission in patients over 65 is complications related to diet and lifestyle. Imagine going through major heart surgery only to face the same risks again, simply because of what's on your plate. In my years of caring for older adults recovering from cardiac surgery, I've seen patients make miraculous turnarounds simply by removing certain toxic foods from their diets. But I've also witnessed too many setbacks that could have been avoided. We're not talking about rare or exotic ingredients here. These are everyday items lurking in pantries and refrigerators across the world, often mistaken as harmless because they're familiar or convenient. But for a recovering heart, they can be deadly. That's why today's message is urgent. If you've had heart surgery or if you're supporting a loved one who has, there are 3 foods you must understand and avoid completely. These aren't trends or theories. This is real evidence-backed clinical advice born from years of direct patient care. What you're about to read could be the line between progress and relapse, between vibrant recovery and a return to the operating table. This isn't just about living longer. It's about living better with energy, clarity, and the confidence that you're doing everything possible to safeguard your second chance. Let's dive into the truth behind the 3 foods I never eat after heart surgery and why eliminating them may be the smartest health decision you ever make. The hidden enemy in plain sight: processed meats. Let's begin with the most common culprit: processed meats. Think bacon, ham, sausages, and sliced deli meats. These products are aggressively marketed as quick, protein-rich options, especially for seniors seeking easy-to-prepare meals. But beneath the surface lies a dangerous combination of sodium preservatives and saturated fats. The danger isn't theoretical. A comprehensive study from the Journal of the American Medical Association tracked over 29,000 individuals across 2 decades and found that consumption of processed meats was associated with a 42% higher risk of heart failure. Why sodium nitrate, a common preservative, directly damages the lining of blood vessels, contributing to chronic inflammation, a key driver of heart disease. High sodium levels also exacerbate hypertension, a silent killer in older adults already vulnerable after surgery. I recall the case of Mr. T, a 69-year-old retired mechanic who underwent a successful triple bypass. His discharge instructions were clear: avoid high-sodium processed foods. Yet old habits die hard. He continued to rely on pre-packaged deli meats for lunch. Within 5 months, he was back in the hospital with fluid retention and elevated blood pressure. Only after switching to lean plant-based proteins and removing all processed meats did his condition stabilize. His story isn't unique. It's a pattern I've seen time and again. Instead of reaching for a turkey slice, try grilled tofu lentil patties or oven-roasted chickpeas. These options not only protect the heart, but also support muscle maintenance and digestive health. 2 key priorities for aging adults. Sugar, a sweet shortcut to relapse. The second item on my never eat list is refined sugar. In moderation, natural sugars found in fruits are perfectly acceptable, even beneficial. But processed sugar, hidden in baked goods, sodas, and even healthy snacks like granola bars, acts like a ticking time bomb for anyone recovering from cardiac surgery. Sugar's damage is insidious. It doesn't announce itself with immediate pain or discomfort. Instead, it slowly deteriorates metabolic function, leading to insulin resistance, weight gain, and chronic inflammation. For a post-surgical heart, this means a reduced ability to heal, an increased risk of arrhythmias, and even secondary complications like type 2 diabetes. The numbers don't lie. A meta-analysis published in Circulation concluded that individuals who consume 25% or more of their daily calories from added sugars had more than twice the risk of dying from heart disease compared to those who limited sugar intake to under 10%. That's not just a statistic, it's a life or death margin. Consider Ms. D, a 74-year-old widow who lived alone. She was always active even after her heart valve replacement, but she loved sweets, especially cookies and flavored yogurts. Within a year, she developed prediabetes and started experiencing irregular heartbeats. Her cardiologist, puzzled at first, soon traced it back to her diet. With structured nutritional counseling, Ms. D eliminated added sugars and replaced them with fiber-rich fruits and whole grains. Her glucose levels dropped, her energy soared, and most importantly, her arrhythmia episodes disappeared. If you're recovering from heart surgery, ask yourself, is that cookie worth another ER visit? Is the soda worth shortening your recovery window? The answers become crystal clear when you look at the data and real-life outcomes. The bread trap. Why white bread is anything but innocent. The third item might surprise you. It's not candy or fast food, it's white bread. Soft, familiar, and often considered a comfort food, white bread is made from refined wheat flour that has been stripped of its fiber, vitamins, and minerals. What's left is a high glycemic index food that sends blood sugar levels skyrocketing shortly after consumption. For heart patients, especially those on medications that already affect blood glucose regulation, this can be dangerous. Rapid spikes in blood sugar are often followed by sharp drops, triggering fatigue cravings and even mood swings. But more importantly, over time, they contribute to insulin resistance, elevated triglycerides, and increased fat deposition around the abdomen, a potent risk factor for heart disease. The Nutrients Journal published a 2020 study showing that diets high in refined carbohydrates, including white bread, were linked to a 33% greater risk of coronary heart disease in adults over 60. Even more concerning is that many seniors consider white bread harmless, believing it to be a better alternative than skipping a meal. In reality, it's setting up their cardiovascular system for failure. One of my patients, Mr. H, was a 71-year-old retired teacher. He didn't have much of a sweet tooth and avoided fried foods, but he loved toast. Morning and evening white toast was his go-to. Despite taking statins and following an otherwise decent diet, his triglycerides remained stubbornly high. When we replaced the white bread with sprouted grain bread and added more legumes to his meals, his lipid profile improved in under 2 months. Whole grain sprouted breads, steel-cut oats, and brown rice offer the same convenience as white bread, but deliver long-lasting energy-stable blood sugar and critical fiber that binds and removes bad cholesterol from the body. Beyond elimination, what should replace these foods? Eliminating harmful foods is only half of the equation. Equally important is knowing what to add to your diet, foods that actively protect your heart, nourish your body, and promote healing from the inside out. For patients recovering from heart surgery, the focus should be on anti-inflammatory, nutrient-dense choices that are easy to digest and gentle on the cardiovascular system. Leafy greens like spinach and kale are rich in folate and potassium, helping regulate blood pressure and arterial function. Legumes such as lentils and black beans are packed with plant-based protein and soluble fiber, which reduce LDL cholesterol levels without overloading the digestive system. Another excellent substitute is fatty fish, like salmon or sardines consumed sparingly in a mostly plant-based diet. These offer high levels of omega-3 fatty acids, which are proven to reduce triglycerides, slow plaque buildup, and lower the risk of arrhythmias, a common concern after heart procedures. Nuts and seeds, especially flax seeds, chia, and walnuts, should also be a staple. Just a small daily serving has been associated with a significant reduction in cardiovascular mortality. A 2019 analysis published in BMJ found that higher nut consumption was linked to a 19% lower risk of cardiovascular disease. Finally, hydration plays a crucial role. Many seniors unknowingly suffer from chronic dehydration, which can thicken the blood and raise the risk of clots. Clean water, herbal teas, and electrolyte-infused drinks without added sugar can help maintain healthy circulation and kidney function, especially in patients on multiple medications. Real-life recovery. 2 stories of transformation. Success stories in senior cardiac recovery often have one thing in common: consistency in dietary change. Take Mr. B, a 76-year-old former pilot who underwent heart valve repair. Initially skeptical of a plant-forward diet, he viewed food as a reward system favoring processed snacks and salty meals. But when he began experiencing shortness of breath just weeks after surgery, his cardiologist urged him to overhaul his eating habits. Through weekly consultations, we introduced lentil soups, roasted vegetables, avocado-based spreads, and reduced his red meat to once per week. Within 3 months, his blood pressure normalized, his energy improved, and his weight dropped by 11 pounds, all without medication adjustments. Then there's Miss L, a 70-year-old former nurse with a history of coronary artery disease. After her second angioplasty, she admitted to struggling with sugar cravings. We worked together to create satisfying alternatives like frozen berries, dark chocolate in moderation, and fruit-sweetened oat bars. We also established a daily walking routine and mindfulness practices to address emotional eating. 1 year later, she hasn't been hospitalized once, and her A1C is now within normal range. These stories are not exceptional, they are replicable. With the right support, mindset, and information, any senior can take control of their recovery. The deeper issue: lifestyle, not just diet. It's important to recognize that food choices are part of a larger lifestyle pattern. After heart surgery, seniors must not only change what they eat, but also how they live. Sedentary habits, poor sleep hygiene, unmanaged stress, and lack of social connection can all sabotage recovery efforts, even if the diet is improved. Exercise tailored to the individual's capacity must be introduced gradually. Walking, swimming stationary, cycling, and gentle yoga have all been shown to reduce resting heart rate, improve vascular tone, and support mental health. At least 30 minutes of low-impact activity daily can significantly reduce the risk of a second cardiac event. Sleep is another often overlooked factor. A consistent routine with 6 to 7 hours of restful sleep per night supports hormone regulation, immune function, and recovery. Studies published in Sleep Health confirm that seniors who maintain regular sleep patterns have better cardiovascular outcomes than those with erratic or insufficient sleep. Finally, social engagement and emotional well-being matter deeply. Loneliness and depression have been shown to increase cardiovascular mortality. Support groups, regular phone calls with family, or volunteer activities can provide meaning, structure, and motivation to stick with healthy habits. Conclusion. Recovering from heart surgery is one of the most defining moments in a person's life. It's not simply about physical healing, it's about redefining your relationship with your body and your choices. The three foods we've examined today, processed meats, refined sugars, and white bread may seem ordinary, but their effects on a healing heart are profound. These are not just dietary risks, they are recovery saboteurs. But this is not a message of fear, it's a message of power. The power to choose differently, the power to protect your progress, the power to shape the rest of your life with intention and knowledge. If you've come this far in your journey, you've already proven your resilience. Now it's time to match that strength with wisdom. Replace harmful food with healing ones. Stay active within your limits. Prioritize sleep and relationships. And above all, believe in your ability to thrive. As a senior care professional, I've witnessed what's possible when patients embrace these principles. Fewer hospital visits, stronger hearts, brighter, longer lives, and not just in years added, but in life regained. If this article has helped you or someone you care about understand the critical role of diet in heart surgery recovery, consider sharing it with a friend or family member who might benefit. For more science-backed strategies, expert guidance, and inspirational stories to help you live stronger and longer, subscribe to the Longevity Secret channel. We're here to support your journey every step, every heartbeat, every meal.